Welcome, soccer fans, to Pioneer High School here at Hallway Field for our USLW match between your AFC and Arbor Mighty Oak and Detroit City FC. Today, we welcome our partners from Food Gatherers and Zingerman. If you are headed out to the stadium, please visit their table and help support the important work that they do. Let us talk a little bit coming in about our upcoming game here. Taking a look, we're not going to talk about the Great Lakes standing yet for the USLW because, Detroit FC hasn't played a game yet. So there's still a lot of folks who haven't played a game. So AFC and Arbor up towards the top of that standing. But again, it's early in the season. So we'll take that with a grain of salt. AFC and Arbor is 1-0-1 on the season. And taking a look at their games. They had a 2-1 win versus Macomb, Union FC Macomb. And then their last game was over at Midwest United, and that was a game at Midwest United. And let's see if we can get the action history here. So taking a look, there was a goal by Malecki for AFC Ann Arbor at the 14th minute. Then for Midwest United, Collard had a goal at the 35th minute. Substitutions for AFC Ann Arbor, Bauman went out for Bretto at the 43rd minute. Also at the 43rd minute, it was Lewis in for Malecki. In the 70th minute, Eitzman went in for Permonen. In the 70th minute, it was Molina going in for Diambra. And in the 86th minute, it was Ticazelli going in for Koch. And it was Cambrai going in for Lewis at the 86th minute. Over for Midwest United, Schutt went in for Coda in the 60th minute. Langensteiger went in for Collard in the 60th minute, and Spencer went in for Sheldon in the 79th minute. So that ended up being a 1-1 draw between those two teams. Taking a look at the goal leaders for AFC Ann Arbor, it is a number of folks, three different folks with a goal apiece at this point. If I pull up my list. So it was a goal by Paige Sander versus Union FC Macomb, as well as Koch had a goal versus Union FC Macomb. So they both have one goal. And then Malecki, as we just talked about, scored in the game versus Midwest United. So each of them have a goal. Koch, a local player who played for Saline, and excited to see what she can do with this squad this year. So that's our goal leaders. And then Detroit City FC, they have a lot of their fans across the way. They always travel very, very well. And they're working out in Detroit, getting a new stadium there, but they're still at their current stadium. But they're here today to take on the AFC Ann Arbor Mighty Oak. And this is their first game for the season. So no results yet, no leaders yet. We'll talk about the starters coming up, but again, expect a little bit of back and forth with the cheers from the hooligans and the loud Detroit City FC faithful across the way. They always come ready to be loud and proud. Well, so do the hooligans. We could hear them on that broadcast from Midwest United as well for both the men's and women's team. Men's team came off with a win there at Midwest United 2-1. So it's the Main Street Hooligans for AFC Ann Arbor and the Northern Guard across the way. That's the supporter group for the Detroit City FC. So taking a look at our starters for this game for Detroit City FC, it's Paget starting, number 2, number 3, Martin starting, number 7, Stefan starting, number 9, Addison starting, Webster, number 14, is starting for Detroit, number 15, Crum is starting for Detroit, Worthman, number 16, is getting in the starting 11, Evans, a member of the starting 11 for Detroit, Tiefend starting for Detroit, Mason, Tatiana Mason was a member of AFC Ann Arbor for a couple years. She always had that wonderful red scrunchie in her hair. She's with Detroit City FC. And then LaPointe also starting. So that's your starting 11 for Detroit City FC. Over on the other side, Preeb starting between the woodwork for AFC Ann Arbor. Fisher, number 2, getting the start for Ann Arbor. Deambra, an Eastern Michigan player, starting here for the Mighty Oak. Struble, number 6, gets the start. Number 10, Harsh, starting. Wilhelm, again, a local product, Ivy Wilhelm, starting. Brand, number 16, gets the start. Malecki, number 17, gets the start for Ann Arbor. Barretto, number 18, gets the start. Hill, number 21, and number 22, O'Malley. That are your starters. Game time temperature. It is a cloudy day. There isn't supposed to be any precipitation. Now that I've said that, if it rains, well, that's the weather folks' fault. I didn't make up that weather forecast. It is 59 degrees. Feels like 49. With the wind out here at Hallway Field, it's supposed to get down to about 54, so it's supposed to drop about 5 degrees by the end of the game. There is not supposed to be rain, but there does feel a little humidity. It's very cloudy out. We've seen some spots of sun, but it is indeed cloudy out. They're going to have to get those lights on sooner than later here at Hallway Field. As we're getting ready to go here. Again, not as much to talk about because it is still in the early stages. But let's talk about the next home game upcoming. It is going to be the ladies again. They are going to be the next match versus Midwest United FC. So they tied them at Midwest United FC. They're going to look to beat them here at Pioneer High School. That will be May 24th at 7 p.m. That'll be 2 games on that weekend. The men's game will be on Monday, Memorial Day. That will be, I believe, an 11 a.m. start. So get your soccer early and then go to a picnic or something afterwards. Taking a look at the next 5 games for this AFC Ann Arbor women's squad. Again, we talked about they are going to be back at home. Their next game, May 24th. That is Saturday. That will be 7 p.m. versus that Midwest United team. They'll be traveling over from the west side of the state. Then on May 31st, they will be at Toledo Villa. So they'll be down south of the Michigan border, taking on Toledo. That'll be a 7:15 game. They come back to the cozy confines of Hallway Field here on the campus of Pioneer High School on June 11th. That is a Wednesday, where they will battle Kalamazoo. That will be a 7 p.m. game that Wednesday. And then a week from then, the 18th of June, they will be at Kalamazoo. That will be a 7 p.m. game there as well. Always a big battle between those two teams. Then we visit over at Keyworth Stadium, June 21st. This women's team will be over at Detroit City FC. So the second half of that home and home comes on June 21st. That is a 7 p.m. game. So that is the next 5 matches upcoming for this squad. As we're about to get going again, first game for Detroit City FC for the women's squad, and the AFC Ann Arbor women's squad has beaten Union FC Macomb, and then had a draw versus Midwest United. We're going to get going in just about 10 minutes, 45 seconds, something of that nature. We'll get a little bit more music here going for you, and then we will be back momentarily, and we'll turn things over to our public address announcer, who will have the starting lineups announced as they come out. We'll have the walk-up out and the starting laps, and then we'll get going with this game. I hope your weekend's going well. Again, it's a little chilly day here, but a good day for soccer. Bring your hoodie. Always fun hoodie weather. Get a jacket, but you won't be too warm out here. Come visit again. Food Gatherers and Zingerman's out here, so take a look at that. We do want to thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors of AFC Ann Arbor. That includes Diaza, the team apparel partner of AFC Ann Arbor. Check out the new 2025 jerseys available at the merch booth in youth, men's, and women's sizes. Wear the jersey the team wears. And you can certainly stop by the merch booth for some great details, or go to afcannarbor.com and get your items there if you can't make it to a game live. We want to thank Polestar Detroit, the electric vehicle partner of AFC Ann Arbor. We want to thank them for their support of AFC Ann Arbor. We want to thank the Ann Arbor YMCA for their support of AFC Ann Arbor for 2025. Bank of Ann Arbor continues to be the title sponsor of AFC Ann Arbor. We want to thank Bank of Ann Arbor for 10 mighty years of continued support. Bank of Ann Arbor helps Wickfield Properties, the housing partner of AFC Ann Arbor. We want to thank Wickfield Properties for 10 years of support, housing the visiting players of AFC Ann Arbor. Lewis Jewelers. We want to thank Lewis Jewelers for their support of AFC Ann Arbor. Lewis Jewelers, your diamond store. We want to thank the Ann Arbor District Library for their incredible support of the Mighty Oak and for all they do for the Ann Arbor community. Units Moving and Storage, the storage partner of AFC Ann Arbor. Call Units Moving and Storage for all your storage pod and moving needs. Visit unitstorage.com. Destination Ann Arbor, the tourism partner of AFC Ann Arbor. Destination Ann Arbor provides our vibrant community, supports our vibrant community by promoting Ann Arbor as a destination of choice for travelers. Check them out at annarbor.org. A20, the sustainability partner of AFC Ann Arbor. A20 supports AFC Ann Arbor's effort in moving our sustainability initiatives forward, from the elimination of plastic bottles in our concessions to recycled and organic fibers in our team and merch apparel. And I know I need to, we've worked on getting rid of the plastics at our house with all the Tupperware containers and things like that, and trying to no longer use the plastics. It's hard with all of the soda and stuff like that, but appreciate the concession stand. You can get your Gatorade and your wonderful cans and things of that nature, which are much more recyclable. So appreciate AFC Ann Arbor taking the lead and trying to be both sound on the pitch and environmentally off of the pitch. We have about 7 minutes, 30 seconds as everybody is getting ready to go here from Hallway Field. We'll play a little bit more music, and then we will head into the walkout. We'll have the announcements of the starting 11 for both teams live over the PA, and then we will have our opening kick. You are watching AFC Ann Arbor as they take on, the women's squad takes on Detroit City FC. We are about to get ready. We'll, you can hear the folks across the way, although I probably need to be a little judicious with my microphone. Hopefully they're clean with the lyrics over across the way. Yeah, the Northern Guard letting themselves be heard as the squads are ready for the walkout across the way. We have the officials in their green jerseys. AFC and Arbor is in their gray kits with a Bank of America logo on the front. And they have their gray shorts and their gray socks with that kit. Whereas Detroit FC is wearing their maroon shirts, their maroon shorts, and their maroon socks. A little white on the sleeves of those kits. And they have the numbers on the back. So both of those fantastic, iconic kits ready to go. And have just a little bit of good sportsmanship and a good battle here between these two squads. Always fun to see AFC Ann Arbor and Detroit City FC tangle out here. We have some young youth soccer players out in front of the AFC Ann Arbor players getting a chance to come out. And we will turn it over momentarily to our public address announcer. As everybody lined up here and counting down, we'll have it right at 7 o'clock. Yes, now we'll turn things over here to our public address announcer.
For the Detroit City FC, number 9, Kayla Addison. Number 15, Hannah Crawford. Number 19, Cameron Evans. At goalkeeper, number 34, Allison LeBoy. Number 3, Drew Martin. Number 31, Tatiana Mason. Number 2, Emily Hackett. Number 7, Danny Steffen. Number 26, Allie Teeman. Number 16, Abby Smothers. And number 14, Kira Webster. The Detroit City FC is coached by David DeWayne. And now let's meet the starting 11 for your mighty O. At goalkeeper number 1, Madison Brill. Number 2, Eliza Fisher. Number 5, Sophia DeAmbro. Number 6, Isabel Stu. Number 10, Brianna Arch. Number 12, Ivy Will. Number 16, Chloe Brand. Number 17, Macy Malecki. Number 18, Mariana Barreto. Number 21, Juliana Hill. And number 22, Shakira O'Malley. Your AFC Ann Arbor coached by Victor Palace. He's assisted by Belial Altman, Ryan Lewis Doyle, and Logan Wolfen. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask you next to rise. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hats. We're playing on our national anthem.
I didn't think we did that. As we're getting
All
ready
right,
to go
Mighty Oak
here.
Fans, it's time to get ready for some Mighty Oak soccer.
As the Detroit City squad giving a little hand slaps there for each of the teams and little fist bumps for the officials there. LaPointe is going to be going over to the right between the woodwork there. Prebe going over to the left. AFC and Arbor going left to right here. They're getting a nice picture of the Mighty 11 with the young folk in front of them there. As about to get underway, but again, we got to get that fantastic photo of the Mighty 11. And you can hear both supporter squads letting themselves be heard. The Northern Guard providing lots of vocalization across the way. Should be an energetic match between these two squads. Last moment instructions from the coaching staff across the way before we get going. Official has the ball set, ready to go as she's just inside the center circle. We appreciate you tuning in and watching wherever you are at. Thank you very much for your cheering for either of these two squads and your support of women's sports, which is absolutely fantastic. Just appreciate AFC and Arbor adding Bank of America, making it so AFC and Arbor could add the women's team. We've just seen women's sports really boom in the last several years, although it's been fantastic for a very, very, very long time, and we appreciate that. Over on the near wing is Wilhelm. Played with the Michigan Wolves. Over across on the far wing is Barretto. Let's get that ball set. Struble in the center circle. Joined there by Malecki. And we are about to get underway as ball controlled Ann Arbor feeds it over onto the near wing. Picked up there, moving ahead. Down the near wing, stopping. Flipping it back over is Brand. That's sent all the way across by O'Malley. Down on the far touchline. Ann Arbor trying to feed it ahead. That goes out the far touchline. Fisher with the throw in there. Right in front of the Northern Guard supporters. That ball back into the attacking third. Now quickly moved out into the middle third. Back over trying to get to it is Diambra. Battle as that's fired ahead by Detroit. Good challenge back over there by Hill. As that ball now sent all the way down and out the end line. That is going to turn into a set piece here for Detroit City. Over to take this corner is Crum. Crum gets the ball set. In that far corner, raises both hands, puts the right foot into it, and that will go out as that hit the woodwork. In the touch, and that will be a goal kick for Prebe as Prebe will bring it out. We are in the second minute here at Hallway Field. First game for Detroit City FC. First game of the season, AFC and Arbor. Got a 2-1 win versus Union FC Macomb and a 1-1 draw at Midwest United this past midweek. And ball down, trying to feed it all the way across the way, and that knocked down and down the far touchline, trying to move it ahead, racing down there, trying to get to it is Barretto, and That is going to be the ball back over and sent out. Offside, so that ball is going to come back right into the middle third, in that early area of the middle third. Trying to get a number on the Detroit player, as that is arced ahead by Webster all the way down into the defensive third for Ann Arbor, trying to knock that away, trying to bring it ahead. Here comes Paget. Paget down over onto the near wing. Sent back, battle, trying to pull that away was Wilhelm with the challenge. There's a whistle, and that will be a kick by Detroit. As sending it away is Martin. Martin pulls it over just inside the attacking third for Detroit. Martin raises her left hand. Martin, right foot into it, gets it into the 18, and that grabbed up by Preeb. Preeb comes out to the edge of the 18. Preeb sends the team further down the pitch. Preeb puts her right foot into it. That arcs over midfield, down the far touchline, and out right into the Detroit City bench. That'll be a throw-in by Paget on that far touchline. Sent back, Paget plays it off the body. Heading it, trying to chase it down over there is Fisher. That ball popped up high down the far touchline. Played off the body back over there. As that was Crum, it goes out the far touchline. Ann Arbor with the quick throw-in. Ball sent back and out the far touchline. Again, that will be Ann Arbor with the throw-in. Ball down, trying to pull that away is Barreto on that far touchline. Moving it ahead right over midfield. The ball arcing across. Back over, Diambra has it. Sent back to the defensive pairing for Ann Arbor. Now sent all the way down. Right back the other way. Chasing it down is Crum. Now Ann Arbor controls just on their own side of midfield. On that far touchline, Fisher moves it ahead. Trying to pull that away is Barreto. Controlled by Detroit City. Knocked away. Good job by Fisher to send it down on the near touchline. Or, excuse me, that was a Wilhelm. Ball controlled over here. That'll be a throw-in by Ann Arbor as Brand has it. That actually going to be a free, kick here on a foul. Brand set to send it away in a good spot here for a set piece. Brand chips it into the 18. That ball down and into the middle, trying to cover it up over there is excellent work down there by LaPointe. As Ann Arbor had a couple opportunities, LaPointe able to dive on it. Coming up the other direction is Webster for Detroit. Stolen away. Here comes Ann Arbor. Trying to feed it down on the center of the pitch. That ball sent back over by Brand. Now down the near wing into the 18, plucked up by LaPointe. We are in the 6th minute here at Hallway Field. Still scoreless. LaPointe on the edge of the 18. LaPointe sends it high all the way down the field. Chipped over by Addison. Played down, trying to bring it ahead. That launched and into the 18. Plucked up by Preeb. Preeb feeds it down onto the far touchline. Here comes Ann Arbor trying to bring it up the far wing. Launched ahead. Racing over, trying to get to it is Barreto. That ball out the far touchline. That'll be a throw-in. Played down by Webster. Webster sends it into the 18. The ball lifted back in along the near side. Racing ahead with it. Brand chips it ahead, playing down, trying to get to it. That fired into the 18 and grabbed up by LaPointe. Ball moved over. Webster moves it ahead over to Mason. Mason. There is a whistle and it's going to be a penalty. Webster with it. By the way, Mason played with AFC Ann Arbor several years. I think the first 2-3 years that we broadcast the team. Always had that red scrunchie out there. Headed down over onto the near wing. Trying to feed it ahead all the way back is Brand. Battle for it on the far wing, trying to pull that away. Sent back to the middle third, tipped over to the far side by Stefan. And grabbed by Preeb in the 18. Preeb. Offs it down onto the near wing. Brand with it there. Brand. Up the near wing. Brand trying to get it past a couple defenders that back into LaPointe. LaPointe has it outside of the 18. Rolls it over to Webster. Webster bringing up the center of the pitch. Now sends it down onto the far touchline. Stop there. And Arbor trying to shift momentum, and that goes out the far touchline. Harsh over there. Detroit City with the throw-in. And right in front of the Northern Guard there. Headed back the other direction. Played down. Webster looking to get it. That rolls out again. That'll be a throw-in. I believe that's Martin with the throw-in. Over to Webster. Webster sends it back. And towards the middle. Back over by Stefan. Up the near wing. Played down, chip back by Stefan. Now down onto the near touchline, that out, and that will be a throw-in by Ann Arbor. It's Wilhelm. Throw in by Brand. Chip back over Brand, trying to get to it. Headed up. Trying to pull that away. Diambra there as well. Now racing ahead with it. Here comes Evans. Evans trying to get across. Good challenge by Ann Arbor. Excellent work by Brand on this near touchline. With a big challenge versus Evans. Leads to an Ann Arbor throw-in. More battle on this near wing. Trying to get past this Paget. Paget down the near touchline, battling with Diambra. Diambra trying to wall off that cross. Back over to Evans. Evans gets it over to Crum. Back to Evans. Evans trying to go to the center of the pitch. Knocked down there by Malecki. Malecki trying to chase over. The ball back over by Crum. Crum gets it all the way down onto the far touchline now. Trying to get it past that, launched all the way down the pitch. Back over to Webster. Webster has it on the far wing. Webster feeds it over onto the near wing. That's sent ahead by Defend. Out the near touchline. Ann Arbor. Brand with the throw in. Played down, trying to bring it away. There's Malecki. Sent back by Brand, now back by Harsh. All the way across. Up the far wing, racing ahead with it is Wilhelm. Wilhelm. That out the far touchline. Fisher over there with the throw-in. Played down. As there's going to be a whistle. As Ann Arbor with the player down just on the edge of the attacking third. And is going to lead to a kick quickly over. Malecki trying to break herself free. Malecki away from Paget, gets it right back to center. Moved over to O'Malley. O'Malley right to Brand. Brand up the near touchline. Brand arcs it into the 18. Knocked down as Detroit takes that away. Brand moves it over. Diambra trying to get to it. Right past Harsh. Harsh moves it over onto the far wing. Harsh trying to get it back. Here comes Detroit up the center of the pitch. Blasted all the way back into the Ann Arbor 18. Preeb has it there. Preeb gets it up, throws the ball down on that far touchline. Played down. That's Fisher. Rocketed ahead on that far touchline. Now chipped All the way back into the attacking third, racing ahead with it. Here comes Wilhelm. Wilhelm down on the near side of the 18. Wilhelm looking for a shot and grabbed by LaPointe. Wilhelm with an opportunity. LaPointe with a good save. Ball all the way over and out the near touchline. Valiant effort almost into the bench there by Worthman. Glad Worthman didn't meet that bench. That would have not been good. Don't want to see any of these players injured. We're in the 13th minute here at Hallway Field. Still scoreless between these two squads. Brand on the near wing, trying to, with the throw in, trying to get that working her way around is Struble. Down on this near touch line, trying to turn on it. There's Wilhelm. Wilhelm into the 18 and launched all the way out the near touch line by Detroit. Brand. Quick throw in on the near touch line. Played down, popped up. Wilhelm trying to get to it on the 18. Wilhelm trying to work her way through. That goes out the end line. That will be a goal kick. LaPointe will have it on the 6. And she'll send it away here in the 14th minute. Over to Webster. Still scoreless. Webster stops. Feeds it back over to LaPointe. LaPointe gets it onto this near wing. Stephen. Back to LaPointe. Now over to Webster. Webster on the far wing. Webster trying to feed it. That out the far touchline. Fisher with the throw in. Just on the Detroit side of midfield. Intercepted. Now arced ahead, right to midfield, pulled back by Evans, and watched all the way down. And comes down the far wing, and Preeb has it there. Preeb brings it into the 18. Preeb. Pressure coming. Preeb rolls it onto the far touchline. Preeb. And trying to get passed over to Malecki. And ball controlled by Detroit in their attacking third. Detroit sends it down the far touchline. That will remain Detroit ball. So I believe that's Paget with the throw-in. Or excuse me, no, that's Martin. Battle for it on the far touchline. Martin feeds it back to center. Detroit with the ball right at midfield. Moved over to Worthman. Worthman. And back and out the near touchline. That will stay Detroit ball, and they'll have them move Worthman back a little bit just on the edge of the middle third. Worthman with the throw-in. That headed by Brand towards the middle of the pitch. Played down there by Evans. Moved back. Bringing it up the middle over there is Mason. Mason right at midfield, gets it down onto the far touchline. Back there's Martin. Martin. Back to midfield now. Moved over on the near wing to Tiefend. Ball into the middle third. And Arbor controls. Fisher trying to blast it over midfield. Controlled by Detroit on the middle. The middle third there, sent over by Webster. Battle for it on that far wing and out the far touchline. Paget is trying to battle there. That will be an Ann Arbor throw-in. As they'll have Fisher with the throw-in right on the Ann Arbor side of midfield. Play down, trying to get through traffic over there. Barato, that ball played down. Here comes Detroit now. Watch the other direction by Ann Arbor. That will go out right at the Detroit bench. Martin with the throw-in. Martin gets it over to Webster. Webster back. Centered up in their own defensive third. Back over to Webster. Pressure coming from Malecki. Webster moves it right centered up over to Tiefend. Up the near wing. Tiefend blasted all the way down, and that will go out the near touchline. O'Malley racing over. That's a quick throw in by Brand. with it, Struble. Struble sends it all the way across. Controlled. Now racing ahead with it. Here comes Ann Arbor. Back over to Struble. Struble chips it back over to Brand. Brand into the attacking third. Brand over to Ivy on the near touchline. Ivy getting it into the near corner for Struble and knocked away. Here comes Detroit as they fire it all the way down. Racing back, trying to get to it. Here comes, and that racing ahead with it is Addison. Addison on the edge of the 18. Good challenge there. Sent out by O'Malley. O'Malley tracking down. That's going to turn into a set piece here for Detroit City FC. But a good challenge to stop Addison as she got deep into Ann Arbor defensive third. Martin has it ready for this set piece. Martin raises her left hand. Here comes the kick, low kick, knocked out and blasted down onto the near touchline and out. Right on the edge of the attacking third. Martin has it on the near touchline. Martin trying to get it deep into Addison. Addison into the near corner. Addison challenging, knocked down and sent out. All the way down towards the middle third. Headed back by Detroit. Played down off the body, trying to feed that ahead over there was Struble. Ball down as Tiefin puts it back into the 18. LaPointe has it there. LaPointe. Pressure coming from Malecki. LaPointe down on that far wing, controlled by Ann Arbor. Flipped over onto the far wing by Harsh. Now launched down into the far corner, racing over, trying to get to it. Webster in a battle, and that goes out. That should be a corner for Ann Arbor. Good job earning a set piece there for Ann Arbor. Here in the 20th minute, still scoreless. Diambra ready for this set piece. Coming from the far corner. Everyone gets themselves ready. Diambra raises her right hand. Right foot into it, arcs it across the 18. That headed back and will go out. Getting ahead on it back over there was Malecki. And out the end line, and that will be a goal kick for Detroit. LaPointe with it at the 6. LaPointe over to Webster. Webster calmly brings it up the far wing. Webster moves it across over onto the near side of the pitch for Tiefin. Tiefin trying to launch it ahead, played down over there by Crum. Now trying to get to it, Ann Arbor. Played back by Diambra, now coming up the near wing. Launching it, Wilhelm trying to get to it in the near corner. Wilhelm with the cross. That grab by LaPointe. Oh, opportunity, but LaPointe getting there first. LaPointe rolls it down onto the far wing. Webster quickly ahead on the far side of the pitch. Webster launches it. Played down, battle for it. As Crum trying to feed it ahead. Now Diambra with it on that far, but there's going to be, they're going to say a whistle, and that's going to be Ann Arbor with the restart. Back on the far wing, arced over by O'Malley. Played down by Brand on the near side of the pitch. Brand heads towards the middle of the pitch. Brand all the way across. Fisher races up the far touchline. Fisher over midfield. Fisher trying to arc that ahead. Played down back over to Webster by Detroit. Webster gets it over to Tiefin. Tiefin back to Webster on that far wing. Webster onto the far touchline. Detroit arcs it ahead. Racing back, and that chipped by Preeb. That'll go out the far touchline. That'll be a Detroit throw in. Detroit quickly gets it in. Ball played down. Detroit into the attacking third. Ann Arbor volleys it up, trying to get that over to Struble. Down onto the near wing. Racing ahead with it is Worthman. Worthman into the 18, and that is going to be a corner. Ball set. I believe that's Evans kicking it away. All the way across, headed by Ann Arbor, played down by Mason. Mason on the far touchline, arcing it ahead. And grabbed over there by Struble. Struble back. Moved back over by Harsh. Still battling. There'll be an Ann Arbor throwing on that far touchline. Addison back providing heavy pressure in the Ann Arbor defensive third. Good move, bringing it ahead. Here comes Ann Arbor into the middle third. And that is going to be a whistle as Harsh. And they'll move that back just a little bit, I believe, here in the 24th minute. Still scoreless from Hallway Field. All the way down into the attacking third, trying to head it up. Back there, Malecki trying to play it down, now racing ahead with it. Webster gets it back into the middle third. Now arcing it across. Onto the near wing. Fired ahead, back over there by Evans. Played all the way down. O'Malley gets it into the 18 and racing in. Back over there was a Detroit player providing heavy pressure. And it's going to be a Detroit kick in the middle third. Martin ready to send it here in the 25th minute. Martin arcs it into the 18, played down by Hill, now fired, and that will go out the end line. That will result in a goal kick. We want to thank Diaza, the team apparel partner of AFC Ann Arbor. Don't forget, you can order your kit at afcannarbor.com or here at the merch booth to get some great deals. Polestar Detroit is the electric vehicle partner of AFC Ann Arbor. We thank them for their support. We want to thank Ann Arbor YMC Fitness for their support of 2025. And, of course, the title sponsor, Bank of Ann Arbor. Good move back over there by Hill. Hill trying to feed it ahead. Played down, arced over by Pageant. Knocked up high. Playing it down, Mason. Sent ahead is, here comes Ann Arbor. With it is Malecki. That ball sent back into the defensive third. Low, Diambra moves it back. All the way over to Brand. Brand up the near side of the pitch. Brand over midfield. Brand moves it. Grabbed, fed right back over by Diambra. Playing it back is Malecki. Diambra arcs it all the way across onto the far side of the pitch. Sent back over to Harsh. Harsh has it up the far touchline, trying to get around Paget. Harsh trying to dribble her way around. That knocked over, but Diambra with it. Diambra challenged, and that is going to be Detroit with the ball. Much to the consternation of the Ann Arbor fans and the joy of the Detroit fans. Here in the 27th minute from Hallway Field, Webster ready to send it down. Scoreless so far between these two squads. Webster puts a big right foot into it all the way back. Headed down, but a whistle. So that was trying to get that yellow card written down, and they'll re-send that kick. There's the whistle, moved over, picked up over here by Mason. Mason trying to arc it across the pitch. Up the center as Martin had it. That was blocked. Now into the 18 as that fired and through the field goal post. I believe that was Addison who just got a little too much on it and it sailed on her. Here in the 28th minute, scoreless so far between these two squads. Preeb gets a ball, gets it set on the 6. Preeb gets a little room to work. Everyone heading up the pitch. Preeb puts her right foot into it. That goes down towards midfield. Headed there. Played down back by Steffen. Steffen rolls it all the way back into the 18 for LaPointe. LaPointe sends her foot into it towards midfield. That just over a jumping Ann Arbor player down onto the near wing, brought ahead by Evans. Evans moves it back, trying to get to it over there. It's Struble. Struble brings it up the center of the pitch. Struble trying to get it across. That ball fired, and offside the call. As down in a heap over there is Barreto. Barreto trying to get to it, and Barreto slow to get up. We hope she's all right. By the way, really good sportsmanship. I believe LaPointe came over to see if she was okay. Always appreciate good sportsmanship. The official helps Barreto up, and good round of applause by these fantastic fans doing sportsmanship. LaPointe ready. Here in the 30th minute, still scoreless. LaPointe over to Webster. Webster gets it ahead to Mason. Mason down to the far touchline. That rocketed ahead by Worthman. Played back, controlled by Mason. Mason gets it over to Tifen. Now that rocketed right towards midfield. Ann Arbor volleys it the other direction. Played down, back over, sent ahead by Struble. Still working in the center of the pitch. That headed back, or good job to knock it away by Detroit. Struble gets it back over. Hill all the way back over to Preeb. Addison back there providing heavy pressure. That ball over. That's going to be offside, the call. Well into the middle third. That's Hill over there to get this started here in the 31st minute. Officials talking across the way. Now they separate. Hill looks for the signal now. I think there's the official across the way trying to keep both benches where they're supposed to be. Now Hill moves this down onto the near side of the pitch, trying to get it back as Brand. Brand battling Addison on the near wing. Brand trying to get to it. Addison trying to pull it away. That out the near touchline. That's going to be Ann Arbor's ball. Good job by Brand to send it out off of Addison. Played down, now moved all the way back over to O'Malley. O'Malley moves it, trying to get it into the 18. That headed down the far wing. Played down by Martin. Martin had a big battle over there with Barreto. Martin brings it over midfield, now down onto the far touchline. Good challenge there, is trying to bring it ahead was Crum. Throw in by Detroit. Now Paget down the far touchline. Paget and Fisher battling. That's off of Paget, and that's Fisher with the throw in on the far touchline. Fisher trying to get it over to Deambra. Played down by Detroit. Mason with it. Mason moves it ahead into the 18. Headed down. As good job to head it down by O'Malley, and that one sailed on Detroit. That will turn into a goal kick for Ann Arbor, as Preeb will have it at the 6. Here in the 33rd minute. Still scoreless. We want to thank Wickfield Properties, the housing partner of AFC Ann Arbor. We want to thank them for 10 years of support, housing the visiting players of AFC Ann Arbor. We want to thank Lewis Jewelers for their support of AFC Ann Arbor. Lewis Jewelers, your diamond store. And we want to thank the Ann Arbor District Library for their incredible support of the Mighty Oak and all they do for the Ann Arbor community. Headed up by Ann Arbor, down on the near touch line. That will go out, and that is going to be gamesmanship there. That's going to be a kick by Brand. Brand. Back over to O'Malley. O'Malley on the near touch line. O'Malley ahead, trying to get to it back over there. As that was Struble with it. Struble down on the pitch. Now Mason with it for Detroit. Mason gets it all the way over. Now brought ahead by Martin. Sent back to Martin on her own side of midfield. Racing back over there is Wilhelm. Wilhelm trying to provide pressure. Now Detroit again, another Ann Arbor player down. That turns into a kick for Ann Arbor. Good position for Ann Arbor here. So I believe that's Harsh ready to send this one away. Harsh gets back. Gets a little bit more room to work here in the 35th minute. Still scoreless. Harsh. Back to midfield. Now back by Hill. Over to Harsh. Harsh. Trying to feed it up that far touchline. Back. As Hill will have it. Oh, deflected by Detroit. Fisher comes over to play it down. That goes out the far touchline. But Evans flashing in the way. Creating an issue. Martin on that far touchline. Martin for Detroit with the throw in. That goes out off of Detroit. Quick throw in by Ann Arbor, trying to move it ahead over there to Malecki. Malecki down that far wing, as that will slide back into the defensive third. Tiefin over to LaPointe. LaPointe, that out the far touchline right in front of the Detroit bench. That will be a throw in for Ann Arbor. Fisher has it on the far touchline. Laid down over there as Harsh trying to get through some traffic. That is going to be a kick by Ann Arbor, as the Detroit fans let everyone know what they think about that. And Harsh still down. She tried to dribble past a couple defenders and ended up down on the pitch. Harsh is up. The official writing in her book, I didn't see her show a yellow card. Yeah, okay, that was a yellow card. So yellow card, second yellow card on Detroit. I believe that's Harsh. Just inside the attacking third. Now that ball arcing into the 18, headed and grabbed by LaPointe. Good head, but LaPointe grabs it in the 18, rolls it down onto the near wing. Here comes Detroit up the near side of the pitch, intercepted by Brand. She moves it down. Here comes Harsh. Harsh dribbling to her right, up the center of the pitch. Harsh into the attacking third. Harsh, that blasted off of a defender and grabbed by LaPointe. Oh, good opportunity. As that was back deep in there, Barreto, she has had a couple opportunities, and good defense by Detroit has stymied Ann Arbor thus far. Both defenses playing well. Good job to steal it away by Wilhelm. Wilhelm gets it back right at the top of the attacking third. Now down onto the near wing. Stop there. Here comes Wilhelm. Wilhelm bumped off the ball, trying to get it back. Wilhelm over to Brand on the near touchline. Brand sends that into the 18 and plucked up by LaPointe. Here in the 38th minute, still scoreless from Hallway Field. Great crowd here. And Zingerman's and Food Gatherers here, supporting the very important work Food Gatherers does, as food insecurity is an issue in many places, including Washtenaw County. Ball right on the center of the pitch, trying to dribble past, challenged by Steffen. And trying to weave her way through traffic, that brought back by Harsh. Fisher feeds it all the way down the far touchline. That'll go up the end line, and that will be a goal kick for Detroit. Tiffen over to Webster. Webster bringing it ahead. We want to thank Units Moving and Storage, the official storage partner of AFC Ann Arbor. I also want to thank Destination Ann Arbor. Destination Ann Arbor supports our vibrant community by promoting Ann Arbor as a destination of choice for travelers. Check them out at annarbor.org. Also want to thank the A2 Sustainability Partner of AFC Ann Arbor. Down on that far touchline. Play down back over there by Struble. Struble trying to get back over midfield. Struble stops there. That is going to be a kick for Ann Arbor. Lifted high down onto the near wing and plucked up by LaPointe. LaPointe slowly walks out to the edge of the 18. LaPointe rolls it over to Tiffen. Tiffen moves that down the near wing, back over to get it. O'Malley trying to make her way through traffic. Sent back, picked up there by Worthman. Worthman trying to get it over to Padgett. Padgett down the near wing. Padgett looking for a cross. Padgett gets it back up over to Crum. Crum heads towards the end line, moves it across, and that knocked down. Still again knocked down. Addison trying to get to it. All the way back. Grabbing it is Worthman. Down onto the near wing. Padgett with it. Padgett trying to get across. Padgett moves it across. Addison trying to chase it down. Mason sends it, but that knocked down in the 18. All the way back. Martin with it. Martin at the top of the attacking third. Gets it back over. Webster trying to dribble away from pressure by Ann Arbor. Webster back over to LaPointe. LaPointe back in the defensive third. LaPointe rolls into the middle third. LaPointe well out of the 18. Moves it down the pitch, headed up. Now into the 18 for Ann Arbor. Preeb with it there. Preeb waiting for pressure. Now Preeb picks it up. Preeb over to O'Malley. O'Malley on the near wing. O'Malley moves it ahead, racing, trying to get to it. Back over there is Malecki. Is that ball played down? Well, fed ahead, back over there by Diambra. Ahead, racing and diving and getting it right in front of. Right in front of Barretto, as Barretto had an opportunity, but LaPointe diving down on it. But that ball comes back. It comes back well into the attacking third. This is going to be a big set piece for Ann Arbor. It's Malecki back. Both Malecki and Harsh here at the ball. We'll see which one of it sends it, but this is a good spot for Ann Arbor for this set piece. 5-person wall by Detroit. Moved over and chipped into the 18 and diving. LaPointe had it, but it's loose, and that goes out the end line. That is going to be a corner. as Diambra goes over for the corner. That good opportunity for Ann Arbor, but LaPointe again very active, getting into it, punching it away, and then Detroit sending it out the end line. Diambra again plays for Eastern Michigan during the collegiate season as that goes just out. Just before the goal. LaPointe has it set, ready to kick it away. LaPointe over to Webster. Webster brings it ahead here in the 43rd minute. Tiefend coming up the near wing. That launched all the way back, headed up by Ann Arbor. Played down the near wing. Diambra trying to get to it. Kicked the other direction by Detroit. Now knocked down by Brand. That'll go out the near touchline. Off of Detroit. Quickly. Played ahead as here comes Struble down the near touchline. That will go out again off of Detroit. Off of Crum. So Brand again with the throw-in. Knocked down by Detroit. Fired across by Steffen. Played down. Struble gets it over to Diambra. Back to Deandra trying to pull that away as Mason knocked it away. Now all the way across by Harsh. That picked up. Coming ahead with it. I believe that's Hill. Hill getting it into the 18, and LaPointe plays it down there. Here in the 44th minute, still scoreless from Hallway Field. Move it ahead there to Paget. Now Ann Arbor. Tipped right back, coming down the near wing. As that pulled ahead is Harsh. Harsh moves it back over to Brand. Brand feeds it into the 18. That goes all the way across. That will go out the far touchline. That is going to be Detroit's ball here in the 45th minute. That ball played down over to Webster. Up the far wing, moved ahead, played down right in the middle of the pitch. Now Brand feeds it all the way down out the far touchline. 30 seconds left before stoppage time in this first half. All the way down, deep down the far touchline. Paget trying to get to it. That is going to be Detroit with a kick. Just on the edge of the 18. So we are now in stoppage time.
Now entering the 45th minute.
As again, that foul gets put into the book. "30 seconds into stoppage time. Ball set right on the edge of the attacking third for Detroit. Both of these squads would love to get a goal before this game goes to halftime. Detroit sends it, and that grab by Preeb. Preeb comes out to the edge of the 18. As we're a minute into stoppage time, Preeb throws it down the far wing. Fisher over there. Fisher moves it back. O'Malley with it. O'Malley back over to Fisher. Fisher trying to feed it ahead. That ball, Wilhelm with it. Wilhelm moving it ahead. Wilhelm racing. Wilhelm trying to make it down onto the near wing, but that intercepted. Here comes Detroit as they will send it all the way back the other direction. And sent out the near touchline. 1 minute 36 seconds gone. In stoppage time, Detroit with the throw-in in the attacking third. Worthman with the throw-in. Played back over as that'll go out the near touchline. And ooh, they say that was Detroit's ball. Barretto was positive it was Ann Arbor's. Played down the far touchline as we are 2 minutes gone in stoppage time, trying to work her way across as Evans. Played back over to Worthman. Now top of the 18, fired in, and that will go wide to the near side of the woodwork. That will be a goal kick. We approach 2.5 minutes into stoppage time. Step back by Preed. Puts her right foot into it, that towards midfield. Popped up in the air by Detroit down that far touchline. Trying to move that over to Evans. Preeb dives down on it and grabs it in the 18. 3 minutes gone in stoppage time. Preeb all the way down onto the near wing. Brand brings it ahead. Brand up this near touchline, intercepted, but out the near touchline. Trying to get that ahead to Barretto. Quick throw by Brand, headed up by Barretto. Popped up high, Struble heads it. Played down by Mason. Mason turning on it. As we are about 3.5 minutes gone in stoppage time, stolen away. Coming the other direction, Fisher, as that went right off of Martin. Out the far touchline, Fisher looking for a quick throw-in. Fisher ahead as that played by Padgett back towards midfield. Turning on it, blasting it ahead is Evans. And then launched the other direction by Preeb. Ann Arbor in the attacking third, trying to get through traffic. And right at the 4-minute mark, that is the end of the first half. So still scoreless at the end of the first half. 0-0 between these two squads. Well, let us take a brief moment to go over some of the scores that are going on today, and then we'll see if we can talk a little bit about a couple other things. But let's pop over here and get our scoreboard report. The fun thing is trying to find which tab I had open. All right, so let's take a look at this. Back on, let's go back a week ago at the 10th, as it was 1 Knoxville. Let me try and see this so I can see the full name of both of these teams. And we'll move it up to the top. There we go. So it's Asheville City SC with a 1-0 win over 1 Knoxville. It was Richmond Ivy SC with a 3-0 win over Virginia Beach United. It was Stockton Cargo SC with a 7-1 win over the Olympia Club. It was Union FC Macomb with a 2-1 win over Kalamazoo FC. It was Oakland Soul SC with a 5-0 shutout of Academia SC. Carolina Ascent FC had a huge scoring day with a 10-3 win over North Carolina Fusion. It was OC Sporting with the 3-1 win over AMSG FC. FC Buffalo shut out Erie Sports Center 2-0. It was Capo FC with the 2-0 win over AMSG, that on the 14th. Also on the 14th, there was a 1-1 draw between Ann Arbor and Midwest United FC. Also on the 14th, San Juan SC with a 3-1 win over the California Storm. Sporting Jacks with a 2-0 win over TLH Reckoning. It was Racing Louisville FC with a 9-0 shutout of the Dayton Dutch Lions. It was Olympia Club beating San Francisco Glen 4-3. Chesapeake Virginia Beach United with a 7-1 win over Virginia Atlantic WFC. It was a 1-1 draw between the Charlotte Eagles and the North Carolina Fusion. Also on the 14th, it was Glenville Liberty SC with the 2-1 win over 1 Knoxville. On the 15th, it was Birmingham Legion over Chattanooga Red. That was 3-2. It ended up as a 0-0 draw between the Pittsburgh Riveters and Cleveland Force SC. We saw Cleveland Force, they were in our division last season. It was Tennessee SC with a 4-1 win over Greenville Liberty SC. That on the 16th. On the 17th, it was Indy 11 with a 2-0 win over Lexington SC. Action as that was the lone action reported thus far today. Let's do a quick refresh and see if we have any more scores for today. See if we can come down and find. Yep, that is the lone score thus far. It's 0-0 at this point between Richmond IVSC and Charlottesville. So that is your USLW scoreboard report. The next home game is going to be, that is, as I catch my director unaware there, that's no fun on my part. The next home game is going to be a week from today. That's 7 p.m. Midwest United comes here versus AFC Ann Arbor. Again, it was a draw this past Wednesday up at Midwest United. So both of these squads will look to break open and get a win versus the other on the 24th. And then there's a game after that on Monday. The men's squad takes on Oakland. That is a 11 a.m. game that on Memorial Day. Let's take a look at the next 5 games for this USLW women's team. Again, we talked about that game on May 24th. That is next Saturday, 7 p.m. versus Midwest United. Then on May 31st, they will go down to Toledo to play on Saturday. That is a 7:15 game. We'll have the men's game. That'll be on the next day here. June 11th, it is going to be... that's a Wednesday. That's going to be Kalamazoo FC coming into town. That's going to be a 7 p.m. game. Then June 18th, the women travel down to Kalamazoo. That will be a 7 p.m. game. So nice little home and home, the 11th and the 18th, Wednesday to Wednesday. And then on Saturday, this AFC Ann Arbor women's squad travels to Detroit to take on Detroit City FC on June 21st. That is our remaining games. We want to thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors of AFC Ann Arbor. We'll go through those right before we come back, but let's play a little bit of music. You are watching AFC Ann Arbor, the USLW squad, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. 0-0 here versus Detroit City at halftime. As we're about to head into the second half, we want to thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors of AFC Ann Arbor. That includes Diaza, the team apparel partner of AFC Ann Arbor. Check out the new 2025 jerseys available at the merch booth in youths, men's, and women's sizes. Wear the jersey the team wears. You can also check that out at afcannarbor.com. Polestar Detroit, the electric vehicle partner of AFC Ann Arbor. YMCA, fitness partner of AFC Ann Arbor. Bank of Ann Arbor, the title sponsor of AFC Ann Arbor. Whitfield Properties, the housing partner of AFC Ann Arbor. Lewis Jewelers, their support, the Ann Arbor District Library. Units Moving and Storage, the storage partner of AFC Ann Arbor. Destination Ann Arbor, the tourism partner of AFC Ann Arbor. And A20, the sustainability partner of AFC Ann Arbor. Thank you to all of these sponsors. Please support those who help support your mighty oak. The officials come back out onto the pitch as we are getting ready to go. As the PA announcer urging the Ann Arbor fans to let themselves be heard and try and counteract that vocal Northern Guard from across the way. Ball set right in the center circle. Ann Arbor going from right to left here in this second half. You might not love their vocal atmosphere over there, but I do want to appreciate the Northern Guard does have a pride flag flying across the way, and we appreciate their support of marginalized folk, and very grateful for their support of the LGBTQIA plus community. Officials set, ready to set the ball down once everyone getting going. Last moment warm-ups and instructions from the coaching staff across the way. 45 minutes up on the clock. 0-0 is our score. And we appreciate the fantastic fans that are here. Good crowd on both the Ann Arbor and Detroit side. Preeb heads down to patrol the woodwork to the right. Ann Arbor's set. Detroit City now coming out onto the pitch. Both of these teams had their opportunities in the first half, and good goalkeeping and good defense has kept this game level at 0-0. Crum gets ready to get things going. Sounds like someone has a little vuvuzela out there. And we are underway. That ball all the way back onto the near wing, trying to bring it ahead Detroit. Now up the near side is Jekyll. Launches it down, trying to get it ahead to Crum. Crum into the 18, and Preeb launches it the other direction. Played down by Ivy. Ivy trying to come up the near touchline. Ivy over midfield. Ivy gets it ahead, now trying to turn on it. Good job back over there by Malecki. Malecki trying to get free. That ball chipped out the near touchline. Malecki with the throw-in. Malecki. And moved back. Picked up by Fisher. Fisher over to Malecki. Malecki up the near touchline. Malecki trying to battle, but that's sent down by Detroit. Played down on the near wing, and that will go out the near touchline. Addison providing pressure on Hill. They'll leave it set as that's Martin with the throw-in. The head by Fisher, played down, trying to turn on it as Struble. And trying to play it back. The hombre gets it back over Now Preeb up the far wing. Here comes O'Malley. O'Malley trying to lift it down the pitch. Played down over there by Brand. Brand trying to get past traffic, but that pulled away back over there by Tiefenbach. Ball up. Diombre takes a pop over. Diombre now heading down. Addison has it down the far wing. Addison, and that will be offside, the call. Again, every week we're up here, I get some fantastic smells from the food carts down the way. We don't have time to run down at halftime, but boy, they're making me hungry. So you come down to the pitch, check out fantastic food. Zingerman's is here today with their support of food gatherers. And here comes Struble. Struble heading towards the center of the pitch. Feeds it across. Here comes Diombre. Diombre moves it down on the far touchline. Now Brand looking to get across. That knocked away. Mason there. Now Tiefen gets it back. Headed back the other direction by Ann Arbor. Moved over to the center. Ivy trying to get to it. Bounces away from Ivy. Now lifted down and right over midfield. That is going to be a throw-in. Fisher has it for Ann Arbor on the near touchline. Fisher. And headed up by Martin. Played down trying to get to it. Over there is Jekyll. Jekyll. Headed back. Now O'Malley gets it over to Preeb as we are now in the 49th minute. Scoreless here from Hallway Field. Played down onto the far wing, over. It's launched ahead by Diombre, trying to get to it. And ball sent back as that was a valiant attempt by Barreto to try and get to it. And it will be a throw-in by Detroit. Back over to LaPointe. LaPointe rolls into the middle third. Picked up there by Fisher. Fisher. And sent right back over to midfield. Here comes Addison. Addison trying to move it ahead. O'Malley knocks it away. That goes out the near touchline, but that will be a throw-in for Detroit in the attacking third here in the 49th minute. Martin gets herself set up on the near touchline. Martin with the throw-in. Back to Martin. Martin keeps it from going out. That's sent out by Diombre. Martin again with the throw-in. Trying to turn on it is Crum. That ball back over. Now sent down by Fisher. Played over is Malecki, goes down to the pitch, and that will be a kick for Ann Arbor. Harsh gets that ball set just on the edge of the middle third. Harsh moves it back to Hill. Hill all the way over to O'Malley. Addison providing pressure. She is fast and pesky in that offensive side. Coming down the far touchline, stolen away. Battle, that will go out, and that is Detroit's ball on the far touchline. Ball lifted towards center, played down by Fisher, trying to get around Jekyll. Jekyll moves back into her own defensive third, gets it over onto the near wing for Webster. Webster pointed out traffic and moves it down the pitch, but that goes out the near touchline. That will be a throw-in. Here in the 51st minute, Fisher gets it in. Struble back to Hill. Hill gets it to Preeb in the 18. Preeb trying to avoid pressure by Evans. Down onto the near wing. Here comes Fisher. Fisher trying to move it ahead. Struble with it. Struble up the near side of the pitch. Struble into the attacking third. Struble over to Ivy. Ivy trying to get across. Ivy as Webster sends it out the end line, and that will be a goal, or that will be a corner for Ann Arbor. So good job by Ivy Wilhelm to earn a corner. as Harsh ready for this set piece. She gets it in the near corner. Harsh raises the left hand. Moves it across. That goes just a little high over to the far side, and Addison will let it roll out that far side there. That will be Detroit with the throw-in. Here in the 52nd minute, still scoreless between these two squads. Ball deep in the defensive third. Webster moves it up the center of the pitch. Fisher trying to pull that away from Jekyll. Well, that ball moved ahead, knocked down by O'Malley. O'Malley gets it over to Diambra. Diambra sends it high as that played down onto the far wing. Right over in the 18 for LaPointe. LaPointe, that out. Just in front of the AFC and Arbor bench. Quick throw into Diambra. Diambra gets it back on that far touchline. Diambra into the attacking third, trying to chip that ahead, trying to get it over as Brand races over to get to it. Brand will throw it in right in front of her own bench. Brand for Ann Arbor. Trying to move it down, moving it over to Diambra. Diambra trying to get past Mason. Diambra into the 18. And that moved ahead by Webster. O'Malley with it. O'Malley trying to avoid pressure by Addison. That over to Harm. Harm ends up down. As going for the ball, Worthman ends up getting Harm's foot, so that will be a kick for Ann Arbor here in the 54th minute. Launched all the way across, over to Fisher. Fisher has it. Fisher just outside the attacking third. Battle for it. Trying to pull that away was Malecki. That ball back to the defense for Detroit. Knocked down by Jekyll. That'll go out the near touchline. That will be Detroit's ball. Trying to bring it ahead over there is Evans. And turning on it. That'll go out the near touchline. Fisher with the throw-in on the near touchline. Fisher. That over to Wilhelm now. Played back to Fisher. Fisher moves it over to Harm. Harm. Back over to O'Malley. O'Malley trying to bring it up the far wing, avoiding the pressure there. Now Brand. Over to Harm. Back to Brand. Brand trying to come through. Now that launch by Detroit. Here comes Addison as they play advantage. Addison coming in, and it's a goal. Detroit City FC put it in as Addison has been dangerous all game long. And here in the 55th minute, as that sent ahead, and you can see Addison in perfect position as she fires it in, and that makes it 1-0. Detroit with the lead, and now the pressure squarely on AFC Ann Arbor as the red smoke popped across the way. Hill gets it over now, bringing it ahead. Here comes Fisher. Fisher. That ball played down. Chipped and now launched by Detroit back into the middle third. Moved over by Hill. Hill plays it off the body, knocked away by Addison. That's going to be Detroit ball. Webster points out directions. Webster lifts the ball down the pitch into the 18, grabbed by Preeb. Here in the 56th minute. 1-0 Detroit City FC. The assist was to Worthman, who really set it up with a beautiful through ball. That ball launched out the far touchline. That will be a throw-in. Brand gets it over to Diambra. Diambra. Back over to Brand. Over to O'Malley. Here comes Addison. Addison steals the pass away, trying to get it through, and there's a good job to knock it away by Preeb. As racing through was Crum, trying to make it 2-0. And ball back into the middle third. Mason moves it back to Webster. Webster straight up the middle of the pitch. Back over to Mason. Mason trying to dribble past that ball sent ahead. Now fired down the far wing, racing over to get it, and Webster will just patrol that and make sure it goes out. That'll be a goal kick by LaPointe. Here in the 58th minute, couple substitutions. Looks like a trio of them coming in for Ann Arbor. As they're having the substitutes move towards the bench, is the official keeping that center area clear. Played down onto the near side of the pitch. Fed ahead, trying to get to it back over here is Evans. Evans trying to turn on it. That's sent wide to the near side. That will be a goal kick. Now the substitutes look like they're going to come in for Ann Arbor. Looks like Struble going out, as well as Malecki going out. And one more. Kopmeyer in, I believe, for Ann Arbor. I think one of the other people, can't tell. Racing in over to get to it, as that's Worthman.
Substitutions in for the AFC Ann Arbor. Number 9, Al Irvin. Number 20, Bridget Kopmeyer.
So Irvin in, Kopmeyer.
Allie Fife.
And Fife in for Ann Arbor. Ball down onto that far touchline. That will go out, and that will be Detroit's. Throw in. Here in the 60th minute, 1-0, Detroit with the lead. Ann Arbor love to get this game tied up and level. Ball into the far corner now, lifted, and that will go out the far touchline. Ann Arbor thought it was theirs, but that will be Detroit ball. Ball played down, trying to work her way through traffic. Mason sends it ahead, out the far touchline, off of Addison. Diambra with it, Diambra. As she goes down, that's going to be a whistle and a kick for Ann Arbor. Here in the 61st minute, 1-0. Detroit with the lead. Ann Arbor quickly. All the way over to Fisher. Fisher up the near wing. Fisher cuts towards the touchline. Fisher avoiding a slide tackle, but gets it right back. Fisher gets it over to Wilhelm. Wilhelm on the edge of the 18. Wilhelm looking to get around Webster. Off of Webster. That should be a corner for Ann Arbor. Wilhelm earns another set piece for Ann Arbor. Harm over for this set piece. Harm raises her hand. Moves it over. That coming down onto the near wing. Harm gets it back just outside the 18, and that goes off of Addison, who raced in. Now turn into a throw-in. And onto the far touchline, trying to turn on it. Sent over is playing advantage for Ann Arbor. So that will be Detroit to send the ball away here in the 62nd minute. Webster. Ahead to Stefan. Stefan. Down the far wing, and that moved ahead. Sent out the end line. Good job back over there, racing over by Fife. That is going to turn into a corner, but Fife stops an opportunity for Detroit. Detroit has themselves Martin over to take this set piece. Here in the 63rd minute, 1-0, Detroit with the lead, trying to add more. And Arbor would love to get this set piece stopped and get a counter. Mason with it. Mason trying to kick it away. Now Ann Arbor gets it back into the middle third. Back over, providing pressure as that's sent by Detroit. Knocked down into the far corner. Fife tracks it down. Fife ahead. Here comes O'Malley. O'Malley down the far touchline, blasted towards midfield. Detroit gets it all the way back to LaPointe. LaPointe trying to avoid pressure by Irvin. That ball out the far touchline. Ann Arbor with the throw-in. Brand gets it in. Trying to battle over there is Barretto. Detroit. Bat ahead. Here comes Jekyll. Jekyll. Down onto the far touchline. Racing ahead with it. That knocked down by O'Malley. Fired, and that one goes right through the crossbars of the field goal post. Thought it was shot over, but it looks like that's going to be Detroit's ball out the near touchline. Played down and just trying to get to it, but just couldn't. Valiant attempt over there by Irvin. Goes out the near touchline. That'll be a throw-in well away from where it went out of bounds. That goes out the near touchline. Addison trying to turn on it. That'll be a throw-in by Martin on the near touchline here in the 65th minute. Detroit up 1-0. Ball out the near touchline again. Detroit with the throw-in. Martin trying to get to the ever-dangerous Addison. That ball trying to turn on it was Jekyll. Here comes Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor launches it ahead, coming down the near wing. Here comes Irvin. Irvin all the way across. Now trying to pick it up. Launched down the far wing by Kopmeyer. Trying to work her way past, and that moved over to Mason. Now up the far wing. And ball sent by Diambra as that comes over and just out. Ooh, that looked like, depending on where you're looking, it looked like it might have had an opportunity, but just out the end line. LaPointe here in the 66th minute. LaPointe over to Webster. Webster chipped the other direction by Ann Arbor. Out the near touchline. It went just over Ivy's head. Fisher with the throw-in on the near touchline. Fisher. That headed up by Martin. Now Kopmeyer gets it over. Trying to pull it up was Ivy. Turning and kicking it ahead is Stefan. Ball controlled in the middle third by Ann Arbor. As that moved ahead by Fife. Over to Wilhelm. Wilhelm sends it in that grab by LaPointe. LaPointe on the edge of the 18. Under the lights here at Hallway Field. Ann Arbor down 1-0 to Detroit. Headed by Fife. And moved ahead by Diambra. And trying to move it ahead over as Kopmeyer sends it down the pitch and diving LaPointe. Here in the 68th minute at Hallway Field. LaPointe sends the ball high over midfield, played down by Detroit. Ooh, and that right into, believe that was Diambra, as she took a ball right off the face. Not intended, of course, but that could not have felt good as she got a full blast of a soccer ball right off the melon. Right off the front of the face there, and that's not a lot of fun. Trainer's immediately out to make sure she's all right. As Diambra will have to jog off the pitch for at least a moment. We'll see if she's able to come back on, but they're going to check her out, make sure she's all right. They're going to drop that ball right at midfield here. Ball drops. Mason feeds it ahead. Played down by Arm. Arm moves it all the way across. Fife back over. O'Malley moves it down the far wing. Trying to come ahead with it. Racing down the far wing is Barretto. Trying to get across. That launched all the way across. Knocked by Detroit. Out, and that will be played down. Now Fife arcs it into the 18. Running, and LaPointe grabs it and goes down to the pitch. We are in the 70th minute. And ball all the way over on the far touchline. Moved back. Brought ahead by Crum. That goes out the far touchline. That's going to stay Detroit ball. Substitution coming in for Detroit. So we'll get that in a moment. Played back over midfield. Fife trying to get it back. Challenge there. Excuse me, that's Fife. That goes out. Evans had it out that far touchline. That's going to be a throw-in for Ann Arbor here in the 71st minute. Ann Arbor down a goal, 1-0 to Detroit. Now, out again the far touchline. Detroit with the throw-in. Martin over there. Martin down, sent away, right towards the middle third. And trying to, Ann Arbor has it. Back down the near wing. Bringing ahead over on the near wing is Barretto. Barretto trying to find a streaking Kopmeyer. That out the near touchline. Harm with a quick throw-in. Back to Harm. Harm on the near touchline. Harm. Back towards midfield, Harm. Now that lifted down into the attacking third, takes a bounce. Played back over by Irvin. Sent right back over by Permonen. Gathered up by Harm. Harm up the middle of the pitch. Harm. Arc sit down. Trying to get it in the 18. Over there was Irvin. All the way back. Racing ahead with it. Coming ahead is, that's Evans with it. And grabbed by Preeb. Preeb in the 18. Quickly moves it over to Fife. Fife.
AFC, number 11, Nina Ferraro, and number 91,
Nasser in for Detroit. Bauman and Permonen in for Ann Arbor. Here comes the kick. Right into the 18, but grabbed there by LaPointe. So LaPointe was able to see it all the way. Here in the 73rd minute. Ooh, that one went off of an Ann Arbor player. Webster trying to get to it. Moved back over. Coming ahead with it. Back over there is Barretto. And that will be a goal kick for Detroit. LaPointe gets it set on the 6. LaPointe motions for everyone to go down the pitch. LaPointe back. That ball headed up by Ann Arbor. Played down the other way by Steffen. And launched into the defensive third. And it's sent ahead by Preeb. Down onto this near wing. Trying to work her way ahead is Ferraro. Across the middle. Good challenge by Ann Arbor. Now that rocketed back, coming ahead with it. Here comes Irvin. Irvin back behind the defense. Irvin coming into 18. Irvin fires. Oh, just misses it by inches. Oh, what an opportunity trying to sneak it in that near post. And it just was inches the other direction. Great opportunity. That ball all the way down, picking it up onto the far wing. Controlled by Detroit, just outside the 18. Now trying to turn with it over there. That ball sent back into the middle third. Now Martin puts it onto that far touch line. Ferraro with it. Throw in for Ann Arbor on that far touchline. Here in the 75th minute, 1-0, Detroit with the lead. Chasing it down onto this near wing. Brought ahead by Harm. Harm trying to launch it. Played down by Irvin. Held in back over there by Permonen. And to get it over to Kopmeyer, that out the far touchline. Throw-in, I think that's Fife on the throw-in over there. Chipped right back and out the far touchline. That will be Detroit with the throw-in, but whistles blow. Here in the 76th minute, 1-0. Detroit with the lead over Ann Arbor. Another substitution for Detroit. We'll get those momentarily. Looks like coming in is Greenholic. comes Ann Arbor. That will be a whistle, and Ann Arbor will have a kick. Is that O'Malley on the far side? I believe it is. No, that's Hill. Forgive me, Hill. Gets it onto the far touchline. Brought back to Hill. Hill. Ahead. Volleyed into the 18 and plucked up there by LaPointe. Here in the 78th minute, LaPointe. In the 18, calling out signals, LaPointe. Down the pitch. Played down by Hill. Back. Played down off the body of Ferraro. Stolen away by Ann Arbor. Up the far side of the pitch. Fife arcs it ahead. Racing over, trying to get to it is Ivy. That will go out the end line. That is going to be a corner for Ann Arbor. And raised. Moved across, headed by Hill, and in! Hill with a header, and it's a goal by AFC Ann Arbor. And the game is level with a beautiful header by Hill. And it's 1-1 here in the 79th minute. You can see here, all the way across, and a beautiful head just in the upper right-hand corner by Hill. The game is all level. Detroit brings it ahead as that is Stefan with it. Back onto the far touchline. That ball launched. Detroit trying to get to it. Looking to turn on it back over there is Jekyll. Jekyll lifts it in, and that will go out. A little high over the crossbar. That will turn into a goal kick for Ann Arbor here in the 80th minute. That ball lifted down. And out the near touchline. Fisher. Played down by Irvin, over to Harm. Harm, oh, that knocked away. Now fed ahead. Here comes Kopmeyer. Kopmeyer trying to get it through traffic into the 18, over onto the far wing. That cross is fired and out by Detroit, but that'll be a good throw-in at the far touchline for Ann Arbor. Now ball lifted into the 18 again and grabbed by LaPointe. Yellow card is that's going to go to Irvin, as Irvin was jumping at the same time and made contact with LaPointe. She'll earn a yellow card on that one here in the 81st minute. With the game leveled, Ann Arbor would like to keep that momentum and take the lead. Detroit wants a big comeback goal here, as we are under 10 minutes left before stoppage time. LaPointe back to send this ball. There's the whistle. Right foot into it. That ball towards midfield, played down by Ann Arbor. Overturning on it, intercepted by Detroit. Right back to the middle third. Trying to chip it ahead. Play back is trying to get to it was Bauman. All the way down on the far touchline. Ball over to Bauman. Bauman played off the ball. Bauman rolls it over. Grabbed by Fisher. Fisher over to Wilhelm. Wilhelm arcing across the pitch. Wilhelm gets it over to Harm. Harm on the edge of the 18. Harm, that headed up and in. And it's a goal! AFC and Arbor as Kopmeyer puts it in. And Bridget Kopmeyer breaks the tie. And AFC and Arbor goes up 2-1, the second header goal. Watching the replay all the way over, Harm has it. Harm all the way across, that headed by Kopmeyer and arcs it just inside the near post. And it is 2-1. Fantastic job by Kopmeyer coming in and breaking the tie. Now coming ahead, Worthman trying to move it ahead here in the 83rd minute, 2-1, Ann Arbor with the lead. Harm trying to avoid pressure, that lifted by Fisher. That knocked ahead by Irvin. Irvin trying to get back. That's sent back over by Lanstra. Down the near wing by LaPointe. That will go just out the near touchline. That's going to be Detroit's ball. Play down, making her way over. It's Jekyll. Jekyll, that's sent ahead. Racing over. Good job by Fisher to send it out the near touchline. Here in the 84th minute. Big throw in here for Detroit is Lanstra with the throw in and poked right back to the near touchline. Lanstra with it there. Lanstra in, and that'll go out the near touchline. That is a goal kick for Ann Arbor. Here in the 84th minute, 2-1, Ann Arbor with the lead. Preeb gets it set at the 6. That ball knocked down by Martin out the far touchline. Detroit scored in the 55th minute to go up 1-0, as that was Addison with the goal, but then Ann Arbor answering back. Detroit trying to get this ball outside the 18. That goes out. It was in the 79th minute, a goal by Hill, and then in the 81st minute, it was Kopmeyer with the goal. Now on the edge of the 18, that knocked away out the end line. That is going to be a corner as Martin over into the corner for this big set piece for Detroit. Big time pressure on the Ann Arbor defense as Martin arcs it across. Grabbed by Preeb as Preeb launching up, grabbed it and pulled it into the body. That was not an easy shot as that tried to slip away, but Preeb with solid hands comes out to the edge of the 18. The ball over midfield, good leg by Preeb down. Wilhelm gets it down, headed back towards midfield. Over Kopmeyer trying to get to it. On the far touchline. Detroit up the center of the pitch. That ball down onto the near wing. Pulling it ahead, here is Lanstra. Lanstra feeding it across as here comes Ferraro. Ferraro grabbed by Preeb. Here in the 86th minute. Preeb takes her time, motions everyone to go up the pitch. Preeb bounces it, now puts her foot into it. That will come down on the far touchline. Brought ahead, here comes Ann Arbor racing down the far wing with it. That's sent ahead over there by Permonen into the far corner, trying to get across. Knocked away, now sent back. Pulled away back there as Bauman was trying to get to it. Right back into the middle third. Now Harm over on the far touchline. Hill knocked down. Now Irvin on that far touchline into the far corner. Irvin has it, and that goes out the far touchline, doesn't it? Yeah. No, able to keep it in. Martin trying to come down. Martin knocking that ball away. Played down and fired back into the far corner by Bauman, but that goes out. Here in the 87th minute. 2-1, Ann Arbor with the goal. I see a lot of another substitution comes in for Ann Arbor, as that is going to be Molina in for Ann Arbor.
Substitution for the AFC Ann Arbor, number 13, Allie Molina.
Out the far touchline. Here in the 88th minute now, Ann Arbor with the throw-in the middle third. Headed up by Kopmeyer, moved back on the far touchline. Move back over to Harm to Fisher. Lifts it down the far wing. As trying to move it over there was Permonen. Grabbed. Sent into the far corner by Bauman. All the way across, top of the 18. Trying to turn on it and down in the 18. Nothing whistled. Shot there by Kopmeyer and picked up by LaPointe. As there's an Ann Arbor player down in the 18. As we enter the 88th minute, the Ann Arbor fans thought there should have been a penalty in the 18 on that one. Player being worked on. Looks like it may be an issue with the left leg, although again, I am by no means a doctor. It looks like they're working with that left leg. They're up. As that is Barreto, who's been in the middle of a lot of action. Here, 55 seconds left before stoppage time. LaPointe will have the ball. We'll see how much stoppage time we have. Or 25 seconds. That blast trying to get to it, headed back by Preeb. Here in the 90th minute, that ball onto the far touchline. Brought back over 10 seconds before stoppage time. Ann Arbor up the far side of the pitch. Played down, good job to knock it away. Excellent work by Kopmeyer. That fired in, and Preeb has it as we are now in stoppage time. Started my stopwatch just a few moments late, but Preeb comes out. Preeb lifts that ball high down towards midfield. Kicked by Detroit. That will go out the far touchline. 2-1, Ann Arbor with the lead. I didn't hear. How much did you say stoppage time? Couldn't hear. Substitution, 30 seconds in on stoppage time. As Robinson in for Detroit. That ball lifted up down the far wing, but whistles were blowing. As again, we are about a minute in stoppage time. That ball brought in onto the far wing. Big battle there. Sent out the far touchline by Molina. Into the far corner it goes, and out the end line. Goal kick here as Preeb brings the ball over. 1 minute 25 seconds into stoppage time. Preeb with the ball set. Preeb, low line drive kick down the near wing. Lifted up high, and that'll go into the stands. That will be good catch by the fan in the stands. Whoops, and it goes onto the pitch, so they're going to have to get that ball off the pitch, but a good throw in by the fan. As we approach the 2-minute mark, AFC Ann Arbor gets it thrown in. That popped up high over by Barreto. As trying to turn away on it is Webster. Webster over down the near wing to Ferraro. That back over 2 minutes into stoppage time. Webster feeds it down onto the far wing, looking to turn on it. That ball just outside the 18, sent all the way down onto the far wing and out. That should be off of Detroit. 2 minutes, 30 seconds into stoppage time. 2-1 by Ann Arbor, AFC Ann Arbor with the lead. All down, trying to turn on it. Fisher sends it up over to Irvin. Irvin blasts it all the way back. Picked up by LaPointe as we are approaching the 3-minute mark. And out the far touchline. Quick throw in by Detroit. 3 minutes gone in stoppage time. Knocked down as that will go out the far touchline. Ann Arbor with the throw in. Ann Arbor with the 1-goal lead. 3 minutes, 18 seconds down in stoppage time. Detroit has it on the far touchline. Detroit trying to go down with it. That's sent out the far touchline by Molina. Quick throw in by Detroit. Into the far corner, into Robinson. Robinson trying to turn on it. That's sent by Ann Arbor. Down and out the far touchline. 3 minutes, 40 seconds gone away in stoppage time. Ball back towards midfield. Played back. Now Webster ahead with it. Webster has played tough all game long. Trying to work her way past. Knocked down. Good job. Here it comes the other way. Bauman. Sends that ball all the way down. That will go out just in front of the AFC Ann Arbor bench. 4 minutes and 10 seconds gone by in stoppage time. Lifted the other direction, played down, trying to get to it, Irvin. That ball lifted high by Hill, who evened the game up for Ann Arbor, making it 1-1. Kopmeyer with the go-ahead goal. 4 minutes, 30 seconds into stoppage time. That ball throw in by Detroit in the attacking third. That launched into the 18, up high. Sent by Ann Arbor back towards the middle third. Controlled down onto the near wing. Here comes Lanstra. Lanstra trying to chip it into the 18. Played down. We're approaching the 5-minute mark. Five minutes gone in stoppage time. It was an offside call. Preeb wanting everybody to go forward. Preeb. And that is it. Ann Arbor with a comeback win, beating Detroit City FC by a score of 2-1. As the next game at home for AFC Ann Arbor is going to be a week from today. That is going to be here. It's the women's squad on May 21st at 7 p.m. versus Midwest United. We'd love to see you here at Hallway Field. Thank you to my camera people, James Wiseman and Christina Wiseman. Mike Butler, our director, who puts up with me and somehow, This is Mark Wiseman. Thank you very, very much for watching and cheering on these amazing athletes and supporting this fantastic sport. As we will return Saturday, May 24th at 7 p.m. You can watch it here at Sports Engine Play. Replays can be found on arborbroadcasting.com as well as on Sports Engine Play. Thank you, and have a great night, everyone.